Yung mabibigay ko lang na analysis is based on what I read. And what I read is usually The Inquirer and GMA Network. So, in a sense, limited yung knowledge ko. Second, I am not on the ground and I'm not privy to what's going on in Tacloban. Pero, meron akong experience with development work, and I know that usually sa systems natin using DSWD, they have a system already in place for rolling out yung relief goods. Pero I am aware doon sa issue na hindi nakakarating or nire-repack or sobrang konting na ibibigay. I think it's also a matter of walang coordination sa national level, no? Yolanda kasi hit us really unawares. So, wala tayong system in place for receiving so many goods from other countries. Plus, yung logistical nightmare pa ng yung airport. Sobrang kulang. Sobrang kulang ng barko. Walang enough ports for all the donated goods. Maybe next time, we can have a system in place na kapag sinabi ng sending country na these packages are ready to eat, wag na siyang i-repack pa. Kasi nagkakadelay nga, no? May mga news reports ng mga sako ng bigas na hindi na distribute na bubulok na lang. Sayang, nakapanghihinayang. Ayoko naman din sabihin na hindi totoo. Kasi I think there are truths to the stories. But as somebody who is, personally, I am a very nationalistic person. I think alam niyo naman yun. I'd like to think na we can improve, no? But there should also be a system in place na yung monitoring and reporting is clear din siya. At saka, tawag dito, we are always critical and we're always watchful, like watchdogs, kung ano yung pumapasok, especially sa pera. Nakakainis yung mga balita na may mga MREs or military ready-to-eat packs na binibenta sa market. Those things are for giveaway dapat. Hindi siya dapat binibenta. So sana lang, mahuli yung, ma-investigate by due process and by law, yung mga nagbebenta ng MREs, hulihin at i-prosecute. So, mahirap, no? Kasi the situation is so critical. Sobrang small ng window natin to get the food back to the people. Pero sana, during the recovery process, mabigyan ng pansin yung mga hindi nabigyan ng pansin before. Yung kay, yeah, I know that case. Yung may nagreklamo na vlogger. Sige, ang background info ko on that blogger is she's actually a former classmate of a dormmate of mine. So this information is actually very close to the source. In fairness naman, and in how the DSWD does things, no? If, again, as I said, if you're in development work, what you do is you repack these items to make sure na walang spoilage, na distributed equally among families. Kasi, ang nangyayari, kapag ang isang pamilya nakatanggap ng, let's say, 10 items, tapos na-compare din sa isang family na 4 items, nagkakaroon ng gulo. Pag meron ng comparison, na bakit siya ganito, bakit ako wala. No? Nagkakagulo talaga. Yun ang experience namin sa field. Pangalawa, DSWD repacked that, and they put the seal of the government. I don't think para i-cover up yung Indonesian gifts and donors. There is no time to do that anymore. I think it was also maybe non-coordination sa part na hindi alam kung anong laman. Ang sabi ng Indonesian reps that those were ready to go na sana. Again, no, looking back, I think pwedeng ilagay into consideration yung mga ganun. Pangatlo, that person, that particular blogger, nag-rant lang siya without concern for asking other people kung how things are done, kung bakit ganon. Ang alam namin, nag-rant siya sa blog, it went viral, and then when people tried to explain to her, people who have been working in development and relief operations for 25 years, ayaw niya pa rin tanggapin yung sagot. And bumalik pa rin siya sa kanyang account, and she still decided na maging negative yung report niya. Ang kawawa kasi yung efforts ng legit or legitimate DSWD workers na undermine tuloy para bang nasira yung buong image ng DSWD. And I think they're really doing their best. Well, marami kasi siyang factors. Number one, I think it highlighted the reality that we are so unprepared. No? Unprepared sa pag-warn, unprepared sa pag-explain ano ang storm surge, unprepared sa pag-differentiate ng pinagkaiba ng storm surge sa tsunami. Ang dami nating unpreparedness, and it also shows kung saan nakalagay yung focus natin in terms of like military, no? We're so focused on getting new planes, new helicopters, but we forget, sabi nga ng isang friend ko, we are an archipelagic country. Ibig sabihin, we have more water around us than land around us. So maybe we should focus on mga barko, rescue ships, rescue equipment that can pass through sea, no? That is one of the reasons kung bakit na-delay yung pag-deliver ng goods. Walang delay sa pagdating. Ang dami nagpadala. And yet, pagdating sa Leyte, pagdating sa Cebu, bottleneck siya kasi how are you going to get it to the next island kung walang enough ro-ro? Yung roll-on, roll-off na ships. How are you going to get it to the next island na pag-land naman nila sa Tacloban or sa Leyte, hindi rin siya makalusot kasi walang enough trucks na mag-clear ng trees. Ang daming roads na blocked. So, unfair din sabihin na hindi nag-respond ang gobyerno. In fact, I have this article written by Solita Monsod, and you can check it. Nilista niya lahat kung sino yung mga Philippine military groups who were there right away. Hindi lang na-highlight, kasi ang highlight yung pagdating ng USS George Washington, yung pagdating ng, ganyan-ganyan. But we did have Filipino troops on the ground as nag-respond, pero ang laki talaga ang lawak ng coverage ng disaster, and it showed us how unprepared we are and how we do not include these things in planning. Like for example, yung National Disaster Risk and Management Council, tama, NDRMC, even that institution, that group doesn't have tents, walang satellite phones, no? And we only found out this sa Senate hearing na. Ang may satellite phones lang ang Navy. So, looking back, we can see talaga na hindi tayo handa. But we've been having storms, 26 at least, every year. We never learn. So hopefully this time, we learn our lesson. Yung saan nilagay yung budget, saan ipapasok yung planning, anong klase planning meron. So, looking back, I guess that's the best thing we can do from now. Kasi wala na magagawa ang blaming, pointing fingers. No? Anong sunod? What's next? Doon na tayo mag-focus. Hindi yung pagtulong yung issue dun eh. Yung issue was, he was there, bakit hindi prepared ang Tacloban? If he says na he was prepared, bakit ang slow ng response? Bakit hindi nakita si Romualdez for a day or two? And actions kasi speak louder than words, no? His wife, Christina, flew their kids out of Tacloban the night before. Ibig sabihin, alam nilang very dangerous situation. Their own kids pinahalis nila, pinunta ng Manila. So, why couldn't you do the same thing for the rest of the city, the town, no? So you have two conflicting stories. You have stories of Gazmin, Defense Secretary Gazmin, and Rojas, who were there. At ang opinion ng iba, andun sila, and yet, I don't think Romualdez knew that they were there. So parang ang iba nagsasabi na pumwesto sila doon ng maaga para pagkatapos ng bagyo, mukha silang hero. So pang lakas ng bagyo, yung pagkaka-hero nila, all for nothing kasi sila din muntik silang matapon ng bagyo. So you have two politically strong companies who were there, and yet walang nangyari. Either hindi sila nag-prepare or nangaling sila, or they got more than they bargained for. Yung bang nag-chew ka ng sobrang laking bite, hindi mo naman pala maswallow. Parang gano'n. So, mag-aaway sila ngayon, umiyak si Mayor Romualdez kasi sinasabi niya, I tried to do my best, etc., etc. And yet, it's either that or he was lying because definitely the Tacloban was not prepared. No? And then you have here Rojas and Gazmin. Obviously, we can't tell sino ang loyalties. Same party, Pinoy and Rojas. No? You can see the two. Pero, I think as of this moment, parang for me lang ha, hindi ako na mag-focus doon. So, ano na lang gawin natin to rehabilitate. But of course, they have to defend each other's political parties. They have to defend themselves. And then that could have affected the way that they reply to each other. Or yung inis-inis ganyan. Although wala tayong proof that it directly affected yung operations ng relief.
Ang alam natin was that Tacloban was not prepared. Yun ang alam natin. Hindi siya prepared. And the people did not have an idea how strong this typhoon could be. Ibig sabihin the mayor, Romualdez niyan, Rojas, Marcos, was not sufficiently informed of how dangerous it was. Or kung alam niya man, baka binaliwala niya na okay lang. Kasi siya even himself is still at the resort, di ba? Near the ocean. Ibig sabihin, wala siyang geological or weather awareness na is really going to be bad. But you know, you might see a bigger problem. It might be representative how Filipinos are not very well informed pagdating sa weather. Or it might reflect yung mga ugali ng mga Pinoy na kapag winarningan, ang tigas ng ulo, ayaw gumalaw. No? He's just one person, but posibleng representative siya ng ugali ng Pilipino na either matigas ng ulo or sobrang lakas ng loob or bahala na. No? Which bahala na could turn into something very good or something very bad. So hopefully ngayon, pag may warnings na, we take it seriously. Whether or not bad siya o hindi. Kung sinabing level 3, level 4, alis kayo. Mangyari man siya o hindi, likas talaga kayo. And then you take it seriously. So, hindi natin alam ano yung personal opinions ni Romualdez when the warnings came, no? Even us, we didn't expect. But I think, starting now, I think with what happened, wala nang, hindi nagbiro. Ang susunod na mga warnings, hindi talaga siya biro. Kahit nasa Metro Manila di ba? Signal number, ano ba highest? 3-1. Basta yung pinakamataas, pupunta ka pa rin ng Manila Bay, no? Kasi ang sarap maligo ng mga bata doon. Without thinking na baka mapadpad sila, madrag sila ng waves. Yung, ano ba? Sobrang sanay kasi tayo sa mga bagyo, natural disasters. Kapag andyan na, we just think, oh, it's going to blow over. Tapos na siya. And then, we realize na, uy, nature pala is too strong for even the, we need to prepare lagi for the worst. Hindi sanay mga Pinoy magtingin fast forward. Masyado tayong sanay sa ngayon. Yun ang isang pagkukulang natin as Philippines. We do not plan 10 years ahead. We plan for malls in every major corner. We don't plan for the traffic. You plan condos, but you don't think 15 years from now na mangyayari sa population sa city na yan. Masyado tayong ngayon. Ano yan? Trait ng Filipino planning. We never think ahead too much, which is sad.